Hey friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. So a lot has been made over the past couple days of the debut of Karrion Kross on Monday Night Raw. The current NXT champion showed up, took a loss to Jeff Hardy, and that got the whole wrestling internet talking about, oh my God, what is this, a burial? Has Vince sending a message to NXT? What's happening here? Certainly doesn't look good for Karrion Kross, but I kind of feel like it's a little too early to tell exactly what this means for him. There is something we can look at though, and that is his entrance. It's quite a bit pared down from his NXT entrance. In fact, the NXT entrance is probably one of the most theatrical, dramatic, impressive entrances we've seen in pro wrestling in quite some time. His Raw entrance, not so much. So I thought it'd be fun to take a side-by-side comparison, take a look at his original NXT entrance and take a look at that side-by-side with his Monday Night Raw entrance that we just saw. Before I do that, do me a favor, hit that like button and click on that little subscribe button. Let's help grow WrestleJuice. All right, so what we got right here is the first shot of both of his entrances. The one on the top there is NXT. The one on the bottom there is Raw. Obviously, you see the hashtags there, and that's what they're from. It's pretty striking, the differences here. If you take a look at this first one, it's very cinematic. It's in black and white, so it's intentionally stylized. You've got Scarlett and just a ton of smoke, a Tron with a ton of smoke, and her back is towards us. So immediately you get this sense of mystique that is overpowering. It's absolutely beautiful. And in fact, actually, it's staged really amazingly. I mean, she's got this bird that's sort of coming towards her, and the smoke is all thick and stuff. And then meanwhile, the first shot of the Raw entrance right here, Kross is just... So it starts out with like sort of a blue light on him, and then they bring up the lights. And the one thing that strikes me here is the lack of attention to detail. The camera shot itself, he's not exactly centered. Number one, the Raw Tron back here has this gnarly little, like the entrance right here is it just looks like it's a sort of like a community theater cutout thing. And so he's not framed exactly in the center. It's sort of an awkward framing right here. You've got the curvature of the Raw Tron sort of intersecting him in half. And you've got these spotlights coming down. One of them is sort of askew, hitting his foot. The other one is sort of going through him, and the other one is like sort of off center as well. The intention obviously there is to direct your eyes at him, but it's really sloppy and lacking in the kind of detail that the NXT one has. So this NXT one is great because you've got this symbolism right here of this vulture or this, whatever this creature is right here that's coming towards Scarlett. And as it approaches her, it gets bigger and bigger, it gets closer and closer. And we get that fade as it approaches, as it sort of intersects with her. So it's very deliberate the way they're doing it. Again, it's the attention to detail. So as that becomes one with Scarlett, it goes down into the horizon and out comes Kross. So you had one creature approaching, and as it disappears, the manifestation of that creature appears here. If you go over to the Raw side of things, he just sort of mills about. You have the bird here again, but it sort of comes from off center. And then we immediately see his face, and he's got this quizzical look on it. He sort of has a smirk. Immediately, you kind of just see what this guy is. The mystique is almost immediately gone from it. Meanwhile, over here in the NXT debut, he's in a long shot. We don't get to see him. And on top of that, the way his physique is lit here, I know the screen is a little bit small, but the way his physique is lit here, it's all lit from underneath. It's not on top. It's lit underneath to make it even more impressive. So another crossfade to the original angle. Scarlett behind him sort of lowers her cape, I guess, and he begins his approach. You cut again, and now the camera is down at a lower angle. And that lower angle is important because now he's in the position of power. We're looking up at him, and that's what they want. He shows up, and he very deliberately, you take a look at that. You see how he crossed his arms? Look at how deliberate he's with his crossing his arms. Very dramatic. And then you see, and before we get too good of a look at him, Scarlett shows up and she gets between us and him. And she starts doing the very theatric lip syncing. Now, whether or not you like the lip syncing, it is a really wonderful piece of theater. Whether it belongs in pro wrestling, that's another thing entirely. I kind of like that. And behind her is the pestilence and all that stuff, whatever else it says, maybe greed. I don't know what it says. What is that? You will not endure. All the lyrics to the song that she's singing right now, or she's lip syncing. Meanwhile, over in the Raw side of things, you got Kross. He sort of smirks. He looks around a little bit. He's kind of curious. He's wondering where he parked his car. And then he unfolds his arms, and immediately you see it's Kross. We immediately get a full light of him. There's nothing mysterious about him. You do have the kind of cool Tron with all the the comets and the asteroids or whatever these are coming down. So there is something cinematic there. And then you just get the yokels. And look, there's nothing, this Karrion Kross NXT debut happened during pandemic, so you weren't going to have people. But still, if you take a look at what's happening over here, they're tight on Scarlett. So even if there was people on the side, they're not lit. Like, you can barely make out the NXT logo down here. So the faces that you see won't be full on. They'll be very, very darkened as she walks to the ring. And there's so much smoke there, you're not going to see any fans there. Even if they're in a takeover type environment at like a big arena or something, you're not going to see the fans there. If they were here, right, doing the intro here on Raw, you wouldn't see these fans. But here, especially the way the camera is staged, he's just one in the crowd. There's nothing special about this framing right here. And you've got these yokels taking pictures and all that stuff. And I mean, they gave him the lower third that says, he's the champion. There's nothing deliberate about the way he's walking, about his mannerisms. He's snarling a little bit. I don't know what that is. He looks kind of bored, to be honest with you. He starts to lip sync very seemingly self-consciously the lyrics of his song. I mean, the poor guy, and then the camera just starts. You see the shadow of the camera. They can't even figure out how to properly, frame that out, because look at that. And they just don't know what to do. They just sort of stand there. He mumbles the lyrics to himself. Meanwhile, over here, you've got Scarlett staring down the camera, looking at every single one of us as she does whatever sex ritual this is. It's absolutely great. Over here on the Raw side, the camera just mills about. He mills about. You got some people waving back there. You got this guy right here trying to get some double high fives from him, trying to touch him. Stop touching people. I can't stand when people do this. I don't care if it's look at that. I can't. That is so. This is such a pet peeve of mine. That right there. Stop reaching out over the barricade and touching people, man. They don't want you to do that. It's a violation of personal space. Anyways, let's look at this cinematic shit right here. Look at that. She's just doing all the thing, and by the way, during this entire entrance, not a word is said by commentary. Nobody says anything. So she's going, and as soon as things hit a fever pitch, you get the colored lights, you get everything going crazy, and you see him in all his glory for the first time, and he is basically a god. Look at that. Look at that. All the energy of the heavens and hell are coming down and just ripping through the entire entrance. She's doing a dance back there, and then you get the full reveal. It's chaotic. Look at how powerful that is. And then again, look at that. We're down below. The camera is framed from underneath, and Scarlett appears, and boom, look at that. And that's a sight right there. That's theater. That's drama. Look at that. That's great. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. We got dipshit here climbing up some steel steps. What is he doing with his arm? He's just holding his fist out because they didn't tell him what to do. No direction here whatsoever. He just gets in like it's any other wrestling entrance. Camera comes down on him. You can see it's a wrestling match. This over here doesn't even look like it's a wrestling match. This looks like it's, I don't know, the second coming of Beelzebub or some shit. I don't know. I mean, look at this. This is respect. This right here, this is like a house show. No strobing, like the barest minimum of strobing. And then he starts, and I don't know why he's doing that. I mean, I know he does that here too. Or he did. He does that now even in NXT, although he really shouldn't, because it looks kind of goofy. It looks like he's, I don't know. He looks weak doing this. I don't know what it is about this. It's just kind of weird. I like that it's with the beat. And I know he's trying to bring the intensity, and I appreciate it. And look at the cheesy graphic right here. And I appreciate the intensity. I do. And I think he's doing what he can. I feel for the guy because he probably woke up today and everybody's talking shit about him. But, including going in and all. But, I don't know. What I see here is two very, very, very different things. I mean, even this one, let's see here. I don't know how long this lasted. But you get the drift, I think. One is a carefully detailed, carefully staged, carefully motivated theatrical piece to introduce to you the guy that's going to destroy everything. And the other one is just some dude wearing a title that now, seemingly nobody really cares about. But look at how this is nothing right here. This is absolutely nothing. It's look, even how this is framed, you don't get his full name. Which, by the way, they'll probably ditch the Kross part of it. Here, look at that. You see his name, his logo. You see it all. And he's filmed up top, which, a bird's eye view. It's beautiful stuff. And they just completely ditched it. I don't know what the plan is for Scarlett. Evidently, they want her to do her own thing. But he's really missing something here in this Raw debut. Even if he didn't have Scarlett with him, like put somebody with him, right? Or I don't know. I don't know what you do. Anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting to take a look at them side by side to see exactly what's missing with Karrion Kross. This is probably just the start of it. The loss to Jeff Hardy did not help him at all. And the interview afterwards didn't help him. Getting caught, by a dude putting his feet on the ropes. It's not a good look. It'll be very interesting to see where we go from here with Karrion Kross. In any event, thanks for watching. Just thought it'd be kind of fun to take a look at these entrances side by side and see, what changes were made and what we'll probably get one more time at maybe a takeover against Samoa Joe. Anyways, that's going to do it for WrestleJuice today. Take a look at one of these other videos. I appreciate you guys being there. Hey, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Until next time.